Santilli, lead learner, William Davies Middle School in South Jersey. So we differentiate because North Jersey is a different state. So. On Twitter, I'm at SP Santilli.
He just wants to be like us up there.
We can't do that.
What was yours again?
Toby Brown, no vowels. Hi. Why is a vowel?
Your way to help her out.
We said hi like 3 times, but we just didn't know if we were going to say it. All right. Hey, how are you? I see you in a minute. Oh, I see you now. Okay.
No, there's space up here too.
I don't know. You're
Sorry.
Yeah, you should have been on there.
Wait.
Oh, I couldn't believe they hadn't printed them on.
Yeah, right.
I thought that it was.
Well, I'm just teacher. That's it. Like
Hi,
it can
teacher.
be whatever else you want me to be.
Well, I like
So I'm
to
going to
put
make
educator.
something
Black
out.
or orange?
I'm an
Anybody?
educator, I'm not a teacher.
So Gretchen, why don't you go ahead?
Oh, I'm Gretchen Thomas, and I teach at the University of Georgia. And I work with pre-cert. Go Dogs is correct. And I work with pre-service.
No, Mary's all in
I guess that's it. And I teach instructional technology courses.
Yeah. So my name's Dave Coffey. I'm at Delta_DC. Sorry for that. Underscores, yeah, no, it's a pain. I teach at Grand Valley State University and focus on math education. Work with both pre-service and in-service teachers. You're up.
Hi, I'm Melinda Sears. I teach French at Oak Mountain High School in Birmingham, Alabama. This is my 6th year as an educator. I taught French for 3 years between 2 schools, and then I was a tech coach for 2 years, and now I'm back in the classroom. So that is me.
Okay, who's up next?
I'm Dustin Robinson. I teach 4th grade math science at Stowers Elementary in Tampa, Florida, and I'm currently a PhD student at the University of South Florida.
Share the pain. Right on.
Okay, 3 more people. And go ahead, introduce yourself.
Melinda Miller, elementary principal from Willard, Missouri.
Hi, good morning. Joe Mazza, Innovation Leadership Manager at the University of Pennsylvania.
Hello, Renee Jackson, Senior Manager of Education Programs at National PTA.
Okay, do I have everybody?
Yourself.
Okay, I am Judy Artis. I'm at the University of St. Joseph in Connecticut, where I am in a School of Education teacher program. I primarily teach graduate students, but I've done some undergraduate courses as well.
And so we're here to chat about how do we make connections between pre-service and in-service teachers. There wasn't enough room, especially once Toby wanted to add his name to this. There wasn't enough room on the thing. I want to also include this idea that leverages the strengths that both groups bring to the experience. In way of just kind of an introduction, and then I'll shut up, is why I'm interested in this is I was fortunate enough a couple of years ago to be teaching both a grad class and an undergrad class, pre-service teachers in the undergrad, in-service in the grad class, that were too small to run at my university. We didn't have enough people in either of them to justify paying me to do my job. And so I said to the administration, what if we combine these 2 classes? What if we put these, in both cases they were secondary math folks, what if we put these 2 groups together? And convinced the administration to do that, and had just this amazing experience where the pre-service teachers brought enthusiasm and energy, and they didn't know what wouldn't work, and so they were excited about doing ideas. And the in-service teachers brought experience and expertise, and they were able to say, well, wait a minute, you need to think about this. And it was, at the end of the semester, it just really felt like this community. I'd never had a better teaching experience from what they'd said. But I've since then been trying to replicate it with using social media, using conferences, things like that. And so I'd like some support from you all to think about how do we do this. Again, especially with the idea of looking at those strengths that these 2 groups bring. Because often what we're finding is that our pre-service teachers go out there and they look at what in-service teachers are going and they think of them as dinosaurs. They've got nothing to teach me. I know what I want to do and they're not letting me do it. And in-service teachers are often thinking about it in terms of these newbies don't have a clue, nothing to add to the conversation. They just should, be doing what we're doing.
Taught them nothing.
The university. Well, we're hearing that, right? We had Toby and I were having, and Judy had this conversation the other day about this idea of, are we preparing teachers? I think we are, but maybe not for for that. So like I said, I wanted to, and anybody else can add kind of why you're here too. But that was my. When I came here, I was like, this is an opportunity. There's going to be some really interesting and diverse thinkers here about how can we have these positive experiences that bring in-service and pre-service teachers together. If I were the king of the world, it would be lab schools. We'd have, everything would be a lab school and we'd all be working together, but that's not the reality of the situation. So where are you guys coming from? Does that fit your kind of, or maybe add to that question or circumstance?
I like that. If you're king for the world, what would you do? Go, Joe. What would you do?
Pay off my student loans.
Right. No, I'm glad you proposed this topic. Session 2, we're going to do one that's more around the leadership lens. New leaders coming in the field, current leaders, folks that have been here for a while. My small experience has been that there's an awful lot of professors that are rock solid, awesome professors, have a lot to share with us. However, they haven't swam in the waters of connectivity quite yet and seen how that can really, influence the field and what the risks are. So there's a part that, I think this goes back to student voice, whether it's K-12 or it's undergrad or it's graduate school. In our program, we've got people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. This is a mid-career doctorate program, so these are people that have already been in leadership positions for a number of years. So, I grew up in a generation where, I had to sneak out in the middle of the night to go over to my dad's den to play on the Commodore 64, and that was like, cool after loaded for 30 minutes. But now this is what we do. This is how kids are, growing up. But, I was working with some students in one of the other master's programs a couple months ago, and these are 24, 25, 26-year-olds, and out of the 70 students, 15 of them said, I'm burnt out of social media. I'm done. I'm retired from social media. So for us to think that, those folks coming out of college know exactly what to do to leverage the networks, not the case. So I think that's a part where we really need to kind of blend and have them tell us about, what's possible, but, knowing that they're used to using it as a GPS, as a place to check in, to gossip, but, little do they know there's 400 or 500 chats happening that may be supporting some of their classroom and their school goals. So any way that we can schedule classes around different maybe chats that happen and expose people to what's happening out there connectivity-wise. And, I think it's our job. We've developed a network over a number of years. Now it's our job to share that network with other people.
We were talking about that yesterday. Melinda and I were talking about your students look at you on the Twitter and going, wow, you've got a lot of followers. And the kids don't realize that, wow, you can use it to access a network of teachers, of professionals who are out there talking about what they're doing.
They also mocked my hashtag because I created one for my school, hashtag OM Learns. And